Hey, welcome to the electrical trade. If you're just starting your career, you've picked an awesome industry, one that literally powers our lives every single day. In this explainer, we're going to walk through the basic rules and the layout of the electrical industry right here in Florida. Let's get right into it. First things first, you're in the right place at the right time. The field is growing. We're looking at a projected 9% growth for electricians over the next decade. And just so you know, that's way faster than the average for most jobs out there. All the new construction and upgrades to older buildings mean there are going to be a ton of opportunities for people with the right skills. So, to get you started on the right foot, we're going to cover 6 key things today. We'll look at how the industry is set up in Florida, the 3 main kinds of work you'll probably see, what your role is in the crew, what the deal is with the contractor's license, the super important legal and safety rules, and then we'll wrap it all up with a look at your career path. Now, all that opportunity is great, but it comes with some serious responsibility. Let's be real, electricity is powerful and it can be dangerous. So to keep everyone safe, the industry in Florida is very strictly regulated. This is not a field where you can just wing it. The rules are there for a very, very good reason. Okay, so the main group you need to know about is the Department of Business and Professional Regulation. You'll hear it called the DBPR. Think of them as the official rule keepers. They're the state agency that gives out licenses and makes sure the professionals you work for are qualified and are following the law. It's all about keeping you and the public safe. All right, let's talk about where you'll actually be working. When you're out on a job site, your work is probably going to fall into one of 3 main buckets. Depending on your company, you might just do one type, or you could get a taste of all 3. First up, you've got residential work. This is everything that happens in homes and apartments, from wiring a brand new house to a simple service call for a broken outlet. Then there's commercial work. This is in businesses, like offices, stores, and schools. These jobs can be more complex, and you'll often be working with conduit, which is that protective tubing for the wires. And finally, there's industrial work. This is the big stuff, factories, power plants, where you're focused on massive motors and heavy machinery. The electrical world has a pretty clear structure, and it's all based on experience and training. Let's break down this career ladder so you can see exactly where you fit in, what you're responsible for, and how you can move up. So this is what it looks like. You're probably starting right here at the bottom as a helper or an entry-level technician, basically helping out the experienced electricians. From there, the next step is often a formal apprenticeship. Once you complete that, you become a journey worker, a skilled, qualified pro. And at the very top, you have the electrical contractor, the person who actually holds the state license and runs the whole business. So as a helper, your job is exactly what it sounds like. You assist the experienced electricians. That means doing things like carrying materials, maybe digging trenches, and just generally keeping the site organized. But here's the number 1 rule, the most important thing to remember. You must always work under direct supervision. You cannot work alone. This is a hard and fast rule, and it's all about your safety. Okay, let's clear something up that trips up a lot of new people. The difference between working in the trade and holding a license. They are absolutely not the same thing, and you really need to understand why. So, here's the deal. The license, that belongs to the contractor, your boss. They're the one who holds the state license. They're the one who can bid on jobs, pull permits, and legally sell electrical services to the public. You, as the employee, don't have that license. You work under the authority of your employer's license, and that means you can't just go out and offer to do electrical work for people on your own. All right, this next part is huge. We're talking about the legal and safety rules that you have to follow when you're working under someone else's license. Honestly, this is the most important part of your job. It is absolutely non-negotiable. So let's just tackle the question that always comes up. You're learning some skills, you're getting good with your hands. So what's the harm in doing a small job for your neighbor on the weekend for a little extra cash? Seems harmless, right? Let me be crystal clear. That is completely 100% illegal. There's no gray area here. If you do not personally hold a contractor's license, you cannot legally perform electrical work for a customer. Period. This is what's officially called unlicensed activity, but you'll probably hear it called side work. And that same agency we talked about, the DBPR, they actively investigate this stuff. Getting caught doing side work can lead to massive fines and serious legal trouble. Trust me, it is just not worth the risk. Let's circle back to supervision for a second, because it's that important. This quote really says it all. Your job right now is to learn and to assist. You should never, ever be sent to a job site by yourself to do dangerous work. Your safety and your training are the top priorities. And if you're wondering why we keep talking about safety, look at this number. Over the last 10 years, more than 20,000 workers were injured in electrical accidents on the job. This isn't just some statistic. These are real people getting hurt, sometimes badly, because electricity is unforgiving. So what's the first line of defense? It's your personal protective equipment, or PPE. And listen, this stuff is mandatory. You must wear your safety glasses, you must wear a hard hat, and if you're in a noisy place, you've got to have hearing protection. There are no exceptions to this.
Look, being safe is job number one. But if you want to build a real career, you've got to be a pro. And what does that mean? It means being reliable, show up on time every time. It means having the physical stamina for a tough job. It means having good customer service skills. You're representing your company. And most of all, everything you do has to follow the National Electrical Code, the NEC. That's the rulebook for safe electrical work.
Okay, let's wrap this up and put it all together. What does all of this mean for you and your career, starting right now?
If you remember nothing else from this, remember these 3 things. Number 1, your job is to learn and to do it safely under supervision. Number 2, never, ever do unlicensed side work. It's illegal, it's dangerous, just don't do it. And number 3, focus on being reliable and safe. That is how you build a solid foundation for a long, successful career in this trade. So as we finish up here, I want you to think about this. Now that you know the rules of the road, what's the very first skill you want to get really good at? Is it identifying materials, using a certain tool, reading a blueprint? Whatever it is, your journey starts with that next small step. Good luck out there, and above all, stay safe.